Good morning. Good morning. I decided to come back out this morning to do a drive-through of the medical research, militarized medical and health management and care that I could not do yesterday because I was too emotional after seeing the nursing home for the children. But I think that people need to see the way that this infrastructure is organized and developed, and Centera Lee especially, which is the hospital where both my grandparents had their surgeries and passed away, and where Shirley received her surgery and had most of her medical care before she was transferred to a nursing home and then back to Centera General. But anyway, most of the stuff I'm going to show you has been developed since 2018. This mobility city used to be a German restaurant or something, if I remember correctly. But anyway, now it's a mobility city, and all they do is wheelchairs. And then here's the new Lee Orthopedic Center. This used to be a Food Lion, but now they have torn that down and built a center completely devoted to orthopedics. So mobility seems to be their research focus. In 2016 is when I had my collapse after my 2 spinal injections for pain. And so I know that mobility is important if you're trying to keep people confined to a space who may run. So I'm going to try to drive through instead of stopping and walking. And I did this because I wanted you to see how small this distance is. It's probably like 2 city blocks. But I wanted people to be able to see how the city has been spending its money and resources. This is the doctor's office where we had the appointment yesterday. This parking garage is new. This medical building is not. And there's some additions to Centera Lee as well. But I'm going to turn in here where the nursing home, the St. Mary's Children's Nursing Home is. So, because when I saw this infrastructure yesterday, I thought to take a picture of it, but I was too upset, and I felt like Amaya had already been through enough. But here's the complex, and where I was yesterday. And then right here, adjacent to it, you can see that they are doing more development, and you see the FDC signs, which always mean it's a water site, and you can see that they are doing more ground infrastructure over here to develop I don't know what, but you can see A&W contractors here from Chesapeake. There's their sign, and maybe I need to get out and just take some pictures of those permits, but I'll do that when I come back because I want this video to be continuous here. But anyway, and then right here across the street, this is the emergency room entrance to the hospital, which they have renovated again. But the most recent renovations were these additions to this wing of Centera Lee, which is patient rooms and where my family was staying when they were registered as patients. But they have added, if you can see there, an orthopedic hospital. They have extended it and made it into specifically an orthopedic hospital. And then here across the street is the Barry Robinson Center, which is a residential treatment campus for mental health, and it has been for many years. This is where human rights meetings were held, and it's been here a long time. And you can see they have the church campus, the church right there on campus here. So you have the St. Mary's Infant Home, and then you have the mental health campus for kids right here within the same strip of land here. And I'm gonna keep going because this road becomes parallel to the light rail, which also ends down here. And this overpass, of course, is also connected to the same interstate that is over my neighborhood and transitions to the Riverside part of the neighborhood. Over here is the Kempsville CHKD office, Tidewater Children's Hospital, which is where my kids have their medical care. And then the Pain Network for kids. And then down this way is this is the parking area for people who are taking the light rail, because it ends or begins, however you want to look at it, down here. There's the light rail and the ending and beginning station here. And this road here is Newtown Road, which I wrote about recently, or talked about recently, because it then connects down to the Virginia Wesleyan campus, which if you continue down goes back to the outlet mall, the new outlet mall at Lake Wright, which is also significant. This building, this Chartway, used to be Ruby Tuesdays, or no, the Ruby Tuesdays is still down there. It's still down there. So no, this is just a new building here. But you can see I'm at Kempsville and Princess Anne Road, and where the name of the road changes, and they're doing more construction here. This is also the border of Virginia Beach. I don't know. Let me see. You can see that there's the line between Virginia Beach and Norfolk here. All right, so it's extending my video here. Having to sit at this traffic light. And you can see there's, the name of that church is Calvary. I was not aware of that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video because you've got the basic overview. What I'll also say down here is in the next block beside that Dronello building down there is Greenwich Road, which leads to the sports complex, or the Top Golf sporting complex that they have out there, which is a gambling and entertainment site. And I do have a chance to let you see Calvary Presbyterian, which sits over here as well. But that's a different church than First Baptist of Norfolk here, which sits right next door. So this is how investments are being made in Norfolk. It doesn't have anything to do with the health or well-being of people. It is all a medical, research, military, managed health and environment city. But Centera Lee is significant. I strongly believe that it is specialized for a certain group of families, for the true natives that are here. Jermaine's father was actually, and Lorenzo have actually been admitted to, were admitted to Norfolk General, which is a different hospital, but they're all Centera. And I'm glad I stayed here because I want to see the psychiatric hospital, the teenage psychiatric hospital is also down here. It used to be. So let's go down here real quick and see if the psychiatric hospital aspect it's still here. Kempsville behavior, yep, it's still here. So you can again get an idea of sort of how all of this stuff is very convenient. It's like it's a research campus. Is really what all of this is. But the Center for Behavioral Health, this is primarily children, but when I worked at the counseling center at Old Dominion, I had students admitted here. I had at least one that I had to have detained legally because she refused to come. Of course, I didn't fully understand what was happening to her back then, but I do now. And so this is where the police officers drove us and then took me back to campus so that I could get to my car and go back home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's what I do. The city of Norfolk, everybody.